Ever hear someone say you should lay your bike down to avoid a crash? Or that loud pipes save lives? Sounds badass, but it's dead wrong. These aren't road rules, they're myths. Dangerous ones. Today, we're tearing apart 20 lies riders keep repeating like gospel. And myth number 1, it's the one every rider swears they understand. And the one most get completely, dangerously wrong. Myth 24, laying it down is the smart escape move. In parking lot story time, this one keeps coming back as a brave, clever move. The tale of a rider who saved themselves by throwing the bike away. Out on real roads, tipping it over is not a strategy. It is a loss of control. The second you slide, sticky rubber becomes hard metal and plastic. And those parts have far less grip than tires doing straight, heavy braking. Upright, you can keep the contact patch loaded, squeeze the lever progressive, and stop in a shorter, safer distance. On its side, the bike just chews asphalt. The most had to lay it down stories start with panic, a grabbed brake, and a locked wheel, then get rewritten later to protect the rider's pride. Two riders meet a surprise. The untrained one panics and slides. The one who has drilled emergency stops stays upright and in command. The real hero move is repeatable braking, not a sacrifice. But next, we tackle the noisy cousin of this belief, the idea that more volume means more safety. Myth 23, loud pipes save lives. Loud exhaust is the pub legend many riders repeat. The idea that extra noise will somehow keep blind drivers away and make you magically safer. In reality, most modern cars are rolling cocoons full of insulation and music, so your exhaust note arrives late or not at all. Sound from the pipes also shoots mostly backward, so the real threats ahead barely hear a rumble before you are beside them. What does reach them is your headlight, your lane position, and your speed, which is why visibility and spacing do the real life-saving work. Bright gear, auxiliary lights, and thoughtful road position buy more survival than any open pipe. The noise buys neighbor annoyance, real attention, and a false sense of confidence that can make you ride less defensively. Enjoy sound if you like it, but do not confuse volume with safety. Next, we move from sound to shifting, and a habit that keeps your hands active without adding control. If you want more honest, practical riding breakdowns without dealer drama, hit subscribe and stay ahead of the bad advice that still circulates. Myth 22, you must downshift through every gear when stopping. Ask around in any group and you will hear this bit of old wisdom, the claim that riders click down through every gear at every stop to stay ready. In practice, your brain ends up counting shifts instead of watching brake lights, mirrors, and escape space. So your attention is split when you most need calm. Good technique is simpler and more reliable. You brake smoothly with both brakes, keep your eyes scanning, and slip the box to first near the end of the stop. Hammering down through every ratio on the way in just adds clutch wear and gearbox stress without adding safety. Instructors save multi-gear downshifts for track work and mountain riding, where setting up the next corner at speed matters. One newer rider who dropped this habit after training reported less stress and more awareness at junctions. Next, we challenge the idea that upright posture is always the safer option, in that any lean means extra danger. And myth 21, an upright position is always safer than a forward lean. Many riders trust how a position feels more than how it really works. So sit bolt upright and you are safer gets repeated like gospel. An upright setup can give a good view and relaxed back, but it also turns you into a sail, loading your core and sometimes taking weight off the front tire when you need grip. A mild forward lean on a calm standard or sport tourer often spreads weight through your arms and legs, helping with braking stability. The question is not upright versus sporty, it is whether your body matches the bike's design and the speed you ride. A cruiser with feet far forward can punish your lower back, while a gentle lean with neutral bars can feel more controlled and less tiring. Think of posture as an asset, not a medal. Match it to the machine and the journey. Next, we move to braking in corners, where bad tips keep riders terrified for real. Myth 20, never touch the front brake in a turn. Many riders grow up hearing that any touch of the front brake while leaned will throw you straight to the ground, so they treat that lever like a trap the moment the bike tips in. The truth is subtler and more useful. Grabbing a handful in panic can overload the front tire and cause trouble, but gentle, progressive pressure is a key skill that gives you options. A light squeeze shifts load onto the front, grows the contact patch, and within limits can increase grip as you slow. The enemy in corners is panic, not the brake itself. When riders fixate on a hazard, tense up, and grab controls, everything snaps. Coaching teaches trail braking, easing pressure as the bike stands, which keeps the chassis stable and your line steady. One rider who learned this on a course met gravel mid-bend, used calm front brake instead of freezing, and rode away shaken but upright. Next, we roll to the fuel pump, where marketing claims extra cost always means better care. Myth 19. Premium fuel makes every bike run better and last longer. At the pump, the sales line is simple and very tempting. Higher octane must mean cleaner, stronger fuel that treats every engine with extra care. Riders pour in the expensive stuff and feel virtuous, even when the handbook quietly says regular. Octane is not magic power juice. It is a measure of how resistant the fuel is to knocking in high compression motors. If your engine is built for normal pressures, it does not need that resistance, so the pricey blend burns no cleaner and gives no extra life. You are not buying secret horsepower, you are just buying profit for the fuel companies and draining your wallet. The smart move is to follow the manual, listen for signs of knock, and spend the savings on maintenance and good gear. From here, we turn to a safety feature many riders still dread, even though it quietly saves lives every season. Myth 18. ABS is dangerous and makes you stop slower. You still hear crash stories where the so-called hero says they laid the bike down, as if pure skill and stubborn pride always beat any safety system. Out in real traffic, when a car pulls out and fear hits, calm hands turn to stone, and that is where ABS quietly earns real respect. Tires with real traction can slow you far faster than metal and plastic grinding along rough tarmac, and ABS keeps that grip by easing pressure the moment a wheel begins to slide. In car park practice, a top rider might match it, but on gravel patches, slick crossings, or surprise junctions, most people either grab the lever in sheer panic or barely squeeze from pure tension. One rider in a training group locked the front, went down, and later called it a brave decision. Another with ABS in regular practice felt the lever pulse, stayed upright, and rode away, shaken but fine. The real lesson is to train your braking, trust traction, and let the electronics catch the big mistakes before they turn skin and chrome into expensive scrap. Next, we open the oil filler and chase the belief that synthetic is nothing more than a fancy label on the same old fluid. Myth 17. Synthetic oil is just marketing hype. In garages and group chats, you still hear old-timers swear synthetic is a modern scam because plain mineral oil worked fine for years, and they dislike any change. What actually shifted is how engines run hotter, cleaner, and under heavier load, sitting in traffic where a stable film really matters. Proper synthetics use controlled base stocks and tailored additives, so the oil stays strong when air-cooled twins bake in summer jams, yet still flows quickly on cold morning starts. That brings less metal contact, fewer dirty deposits, and more consistent protection across the whole service interval. Yes, the bottle costs more, but the engine gets smoother starts, cleaner internals, and often slightly longer gaps between changes, which can save real money over years of riding. The smart move is not blind faith or loud skepticism. It is reading the manual, choosing a proven grade, and matching intervals to how you actually ride. From inside the crankcases, we move to where your eyes live, in a habit that quietly steals control before you even touch the brakes. Myth 16. You should watch the road right in front of your wheel. Instinct tells tense riders to stare at the strip of tarmac below the front mudguard, hunting every crack like a tiny threat. But that tunnel vision quietly makes the bike feel shaky and late. Your brain needs lead time to plan balance and steering, and it gets that from looking well ahead, not a single step beyond the tire. When your gaze is locked low, hazards appear with no warning, so your hands react late and jerky, which kicks the chassis and feeds even more fear. Lift your eyes, scan down the road, then take glances nearer for gravel or potholes, and the whole bike starts to feel more stable because your body makes small, smooth corrections before trouble arrives. Many riders who stop staring at tar snakes report calmer corners and less tension in their neck and shoulders by the end of a full day. Next, we step off the bike and into the shop, where helmet prices create their own powerful story about money and protection. Myth 15. Expensive helmets are always safer than budget ones. Helmet racks make it easy to believe that a big price tag must equal big protection, and sales talk rarely challenges that comforting idea. In reality, any legal full-face lid that meets proper standards has passed impact tests on the same unforgiving rig, whether it costs a little or a frankly painful amount. Spend more, and you usually gain lighter shells, better venting, quieter interiors, and softer liners, all of which boost long ride comfort. What really keeps your head safer is fit, because a plush yet loose helmet can twist in a real impact, while a mid-priced lid that hugs evenly can stay put and do its job. Many careful riders pick the most comfortable, snug, certified option they can afford, then spend leftover cash on gloves, boots, and jackets that protect the rest of their bones. Which piece of riding gear surprised you most when you learned how it actually works in real crash reports? From price tags, we move to odometers, and the old fear that high numbers always mean big trouble waiting to happen. If this no-fluff breakdown helps you feel calmer and smarter on the bike, hit like, drop a hype, and help this rider channel grow. Myth 14. High-mileage bikes are ticking time bombs. Used ads train people to panic at big odometer figures as if the numbers alone prove an engine is tired and ready to self-destruct without warning. In truth, motors hate neglect and long sleep far more than they hate steady, sensible use. Regular riding keeps oil moving, seals flexible, and fuel fresh, while forgotten garage queens sit with tanks rusting, carbs gumming, and rubber turning brittle in the dark. A bike with honest miles, solid service records, and a clean cold start can be a far more reliable partner than a shiny ornament that only fires on sunny Sundays. Modern machines from decent builders are engineered for long, stable service when owners change fluids and fix small issues before they grow teeth. Smart buyers read history, listen for ugly noises, and feel how the engine pulls under load instead of screaming at every extra digit. Next, we look at beginner choices and the comforting belief that tiny horsepower automatically means real safety for nervous hands. Myth 13. Smaller bikes are always safer for beginners. At first glance, the less power equals less risk rule sounds simple and kind. So many new riders get pushed toward the tiniest, lightest machines as if size alone guaranteed safety. What really matters is how the bike fits the rider and how the engine delivers force to the rear wheel. A very small, twitchy chassis with sharp, peaky response can feel nervous and vague, especially under a tall or heavier person who overwhelms the suspension. A calm mid-sized machine with smooth power and a planted, stable frame can actually feel more forgiving, giving new hands time to breathe and build real technique. Proper training multiplies that effect, because a coached rider on a slightly bigger, well-matched bike often crashes less than an untrained rider wrestling something too tiny and skittish. The safest path is thoughtful fit, honest self-assessment, and regular practice, not just chasing the smallest number on a spec sheet. From engine size, we move to material choice and the leather versus textile argument that somehow never wants to end. Myth 12. Leather is always better than textile on the street. Plenty of riders still swear thick cowhide is the only real armor, and anything textile feels soft, cheap, and untrusted. Out on real roads, what protects skin is a mix of abrasion resistance, decent impact armor, and secure closure that stays put when you slide. Modern textile suits using strong fibers and certified protectors can match basic leather for real-world protection while adding waterproof shells, real venting, and lighter all-day comfort. For commuting and touring, a quality textile jacket and trouser set that fits well, links with a zip, and keeps armor sitting stable over your joints can be the more practical, safer choice, really most days in mixed weather and seasons. Myth 11. Cruisers are always the most comfortable long-distance bikes. Many riders swear that feet forward and a low seat are the secret to comfort. That first short stretch can feel relaxed and cool, but after long highway hours, locked hips and a curved spine often grow into slow, grinding pain. With your feet pushed forward, your spine absorbs more shock, blood flow to your legs can drop, and you have fewer chances to shift and stay loose. Standards, tourers, and adventure-style bikes spread weight between pegs, bars, and seat, letting you move and keep muscles active for relief. Ride half a day and listen to your back. If it stays quiet and if it screams for mercy, that most comfortable cruiser was clever marketing and not real-world comfort. Myth 10. Bright colors alone will keep you safe in traffic. High-vis jackets and glowing helmets look like an obvious safety upgrade, so riders pull on neon and feel protected. The hard truth is that drivers who are distracted, tired, or locked onto car shapes can still fail to notice a bright moving bike. What stacks the odds in your favor is lane position, movement, speed management, and lights that create contrast against the background. High visibility gear adds a bonus, especially in dull rain and low light. But it is not a magic shield that makes sleepy drivers careful. Ride as if you are hard to see, claim space on the road, and treat color as one useful extra, not your safety plan. Myth 9. Countersteering is an advanced racing trick only. Plenty of riders say they just lean and let instinct handle turns, as if steering physics were secret track knowledge. In reality, every motorcycle at speed turns because you give a push on the bar toward the side you want to go. That input tipping the bike and starting the curve. Making this motion conscious gives you faster, calmer corrections when a corner tightens or a car drifts into your space. Simple car park drills and S-bends build confidence, and soon countersteering feels natural instead of strange. When surprise moments arrive, you are less likely to freeze or yank the bars, and more likely to give one clean, deliberate push that keeps the bike stable and online. Myth 8. You should never touch the rear brake. Some riders swing toward the front brake education and treat the back pedal like a dangerous toy to be avoided. In truth, the rear brake is a useful tool for low-speed control, tight turns, and speed trims on slick or gravelly roads. Used with feel, it helps settle the chassis and keeps the weight stable when you adjust pace. At road speeds, combining a strong front brake with a light touch of the rear brings shorter, balanced stops than front-only panic grabs. The problem is not the rear itself. It is ham-fisted pressure at either end when your brain is in full alarm mode. Learning smooth, split braking turns both levers into partners for real-world safety instead of switches you fear. Myth 7. You must idle the bike for ages to warm it up. Plenty of riders still treat their bike like an old car, letting it idle and rattle on the stand until it feels warm before they even move. Modern fuel-injected engines prefer a gentle, controlled warm-up under light load, where oil circulation and gearbox parts all come up to temperature together as you roll. Long idling in a small garage wastes fuel, builds fumes, and can leave plugs and heads sooty for no gain. A better routine is simple and calm. Start the bike, give it a brief moment to settle, then ride away softly with low revs, smooth throttle, and extra space until everything feels normal. From cold engines, we step into cold rain next, and a dramatic claim about how much grip you really lose. If you want more practical, no-nonsense riding breakdowns instead of old pub stories, hit subscribe and stay ahead of bad habits. Myth 6. Rain cuts your grip in half. When dark clouds roll in, a lot of riders feel instant fear and imagine their tires turning to soap on glass, as if rain erases every scrap of traction. Real testing on modern tires shows that clean wet tarmac still offers decent grip, while the real threat comes from oil sheens, smooth paint, diesel patches, and metal plates that turn slick when soaked. In the wet, you ride with extra space, softer hands, and gentle inputs, rolling on and off the controls with care instead of stabbing anything in panic. Push the same dry corner speed in the rain, and you invite trouble. But crawling along like the road is ice can also cause risk because drivers behind you misjudge closing speed. Respect the water, read the surface, and remember that smooth, predictable control saves far more crashes than pure fear of a little rain. Think about how your tires feel. Listen for subtle feedback and treat wet rides as calm practice sessions that build confidence instead of pure stress. Which real-world conditions make you most tense now, and what changed your view about riding in the wet? Myth 5. Locking your arms makes the bike more stable. New and returning riders often clamp the bars in a death grip, thinking stiff arms will keep the bike straight and everything under solid control. In reality, locked elbows turn every small bump into a shock that runs straight through your wrists, shoulders, and neck, making the chassis feel nervous instead of stable. A light, relaxed hold with soft elbows lets the front end self-correct and track smooth through ripples, while your core takes the real load. Parking lot drills where you ride slowly, loosen the hands, and feel the bike find its own balance can be a quiet revelation. Once you trust that a motorcycle wants to run straight by itself, you can drop the tension, breathe deeper, and keep spare attention for traffic instead of wrestling your own stiff muscles. Myth 4. Experience alone makes you a safe rider. It is easy to hear someone say they have ridden for decades and assume that time equals wisdom, skill, and unshakable confidence. In truth, repeating the same short commute in the same easy weather for years only builds habits, not necessarily good technique. Riders who seek coaching, advanced roadcraft, or track training expose themselves to new scenarios, refine braking and vision, and confront weak spots they might never see alone. Real growth comes from deliberate practice, honest feedback, and a little planned discomfort, not just another 1,000 casual miles chatting inside your helmet. Many crash reports feature very experienced riders who simply never practiced emergency stops, swerves, or bad weather handling. Time in the saddle is helpful, but it is focused learning that turns years into real safety instead of quiet complacency. Deliberate drills may feel awkward at first, yet that slight discomfort is exactly what rewires old habits into sharper, more reliable reflexes on busy roads. Myth 3. New bikes do not need checks or early maintenance. That new showroom smell can trick riders into believing a fresh machine is perfect and will stay that way with zero early care. In reality, assembly mistakes, loose fasteners, underfilled fluids, or poorly adjusted cables can all sneak through the delivery process, even from respected brands. Simple pre-ride checks on tires, brakes, lights, and controls catch many nasty surprises before they become roadside misery. The first service interval with fresh oil, filter, and torque checks is cheap insurance that your engine bed's in clean and your hardware stays tight. Skipping those early looks because it is new swaps a little planned effort for the very real stress of chasing odd noises or leaks on your first big trip. Treat a new bike like a promising trainee, not a flawless machine. Myth 2. Bigger engines are always too dangerous for normal riders. Pub talk still paints any serious displacement as a wild beast that only fearless experts should ever touch, which keeps some riders stuck on bikes that no longer fit. Reality is more nuanced, with smooth mapping, friendly power curves, and stable chassis turning many large twins and fours into calm, confident partners. Trouble starts when ego pushes riders to jump from mild learner bikes straight to aggressive, high-strung monsters without building real control first. A bigger, heavier bike that fits your height, spreads weight evenly, and delivers flexible torque can actually feel more grounded and relaxed than a tiny, twitchy lightweight buzzing at screaming revs. The real danger is not displacement on a spec sheet, it is mixing a sharp, impatient right hand with weak skills and zero recent practice. If this honest breakdown is helping you ignore bad parking lot advice, hit like, drop a hype, and keep this no-nonsense safety talk alive. Myth 1. Paying for real training is a waste if you already ride. Plenty of riders proudly say they learned the hard way and see paid courses as expensive fluff for nervous beginners. Yet the riders with the most control, calmest braking, and smoothest lines are usually those who keep seeking coaching long after the license photo is old. Police motorcyclists, instructors, and serious tourers treat practice like regular maintenance for the brain, refreshing low-speed skills, hazard perception, and emergency drills before they fade. A single weekend with a solid coach can reveal blind spots in vision, corner entry, and body position that years of solo riding never exposed. Viewed that way, training is cheap insurance, buying confidence, smoother decisions, and a lower chance of that one expensive mistake that bends metal and bones. Fresh coaching stops mistakes from growing into painful stories. The road keeps changing, traffic keeps evolving, and your habits slowly drift unless you choose to sharpen them on purpose. Click the next video to see the bikes that look beautiful but hide expensive flaws that can break your heart. Then subscribe for more real talk that keeps you riding smart.